Today's topic is on the matter of what I call conflicting accountability. In other words, as a manager, as a leader, you may very well find yourself in a circumstance where you have a conflict between your organization that you're working for, possibly your own perspective and ethics, or the perspective of the larger system. You may find that there's a difference in what seemed to be the right thing to do depending on one's perspective. This is a reality of life that happens quite frequently, and it's a dilemma. How do we manage? You have a case study to look at, which is the notion of a regional laboratory, where what's wanted is, for efficiency and effectiveness purposes, to develop a regionalized laboratory where services are centralized as opposed to being provided at each individual hospital. There are pros to it, there are cons to it. What the purpose of this exercise, though, will be to look at it through the lens of what makes sense as from the system perspective. What are the pros and cons, the benefits, if you will, from a system perspective? What are the pros and cons from the perspective of the individual organization? And what are the pros and cons as an individual? As a manager, you can readily see that if the lab services that you're responsible for are consolidated, that you might lose power and prestige associated with your position. In fact, your position might evaporate altogether if the lab at your hospital was centralized. On the other hand, there could be an opportunity. Perhaps you might be the one selected to take on a leadership position in the new regional laboratory. So do you play an active role in supporting it? What about from the perspective of your institution? What are the pros and cons? Well, it could save your organization money. On the other hand, it could be seen as a loss of prestige. It may also entertain the notion, well, if we can regionalize or integrate laboratory services, what's next? Why not just integrate all the facilities? So you can see that there's many dimensions to this issue. How do you discern? How do you decide where to put your loyalties? What do you work for? What do you not work for? The last comment that I'll leave you with is the rather altruistic notion of serving the public interest.